In this video, I'm going to tell you 4 things to avoid if you want to have a successful coaching business. Hi, I'm Jess Blanche, transformational coach and EFT practitioner. And wow, it's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video. Let's get into why. I started coaching in 2016, and when I started, I had so much passion and excitement and had these big dreams for my life as a newly self-employed person. But after a few years, I started to feel frustrated and burnt out. I became a little jaded with the coaching industry. And because of that, I just wasn't finding any enjoyment of the process anymore. Like, I still loved coaching and working with my clients, but the rest was just no longer fun. And because of that, I decided to quit and do other things. I actually started pursuing a lifelong dream of becoming a tattoo artist, and I have been tattooing for the past year. That's a whole other video. But now that I've had some time away from coaching, I have really realized how much I miss it, how much I miss helping people in this way, and I can clearly see some of the mistakes that I made that led to me quitting. So with this new wisdom, I'm starting again. So hello, I'm back. And I want to share these 4 mistakes that I had made with you so you don't have to struggle like I did. Because if you're passionate about coaching, or if you have any service-based business that you love, I don't want you to quit. You can succeed. You can create the freedom life that you dream about, whatever that looks like for you. And I'm here to help you do that. So let's dive into what not to do if you want to have a successful service-based business. The first mistake that I made was letting people tell me what kind of work I did. So here's what I mean by that. I ended up working with clients on topics that I didn't really enjoy or feel the most confident in. And this was because I had the fear that if I said no, nobody else would come. Severe scarcity mindset there. Something that would have really helped me stick to my boundaries around the work I wanted to be doing and the type of people I wanted to help would have been getting a part-time job. I know. This is kind of a taboo subject in the coaching world. At least it used to be. I kept hearing over and over from other coaches that you have to be all in, or you're not committed, or you're not telling the universe what it is that you want. And being all in required taking some risky moves like jumping without a safety net or having any sort of sense of security, just like taking the leap and going for it. This can work for some people, but it completely dysregulated my nervous system. Like, all it did was give me anxiety. So because I was in this like super anxious fear mode, and I didn't have that internal security, I then had weak boundaries in my business and became a yes woman. I said yes to anyone who wanted to pay me out of desperation, and that led to major misalignment. It was really hard for me to even entertain the thought of getting a job again, which brings me to my second mistake. I let my ego run the show. I was too concerned with how I looked from the outside and compared myself to other coaches. And I didn't realize I was doing this at the time, obviously, but looking back, this is what was going on. I hate to admit this, but I wanted to look like I was booked out and making those like 10K months. I set the same goals other people did instead of getting clear on what felt aligned for me. I had the same business plan and strategies that other people did, even though most of it felt really inauthentic and like was not fun at all. Just didn't feel like me. And especially when you're starting out in coaching or really with any online service-based business, like, it's really easy to do this because like there's so many coaches out there who are selling, you know, the 10-step program to do whatever, or like, you know, cookie cutter things, or here's your strategy to get like 10,000 followers or whatever. Because it worked for them, though, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And so if you've done any of what I've been talking about, like, I want you to give yourself grace. But I also want you to know that if your ego is running your business, it's going to run it into the ground. And I also want you to really take this in, that you are worthy and good enough and capable as you are right now. And the way you want to run your business and the goals that you want to set for yourself are more than okay. Okay, we're on to the third mistake I made that led me to quit my coaching business. And that is I didn't stick to any sort of niche. Okay, there's a niche debate. I know. There's so many different opinions on niching down. Some business coaches will say that you have to, others say you don't. Some say to just focus on building a personal brand and that will be good enough. And I don't think any of these opinions are right or wrong. But here's what I learned through my years of having an online business. You don't have to pick one thing, but you need to do one thing at a time. And I wasn't doing one thing at a time because I basically just gave up too easily when it didn't look like it was working out. So because I would just stop and then change directions when it looked like it wasn't working out, I never gave anything a chance to build momentum. Building a business takes time and success requires patience. And I didn't have that patience. So whenever I had a flop launch or a bunch of people said no to working with me in a row, I took it personally and made it mean something about me. I would feel like a failure, and instead of trying again, I would just then move on to the next thing. Talking about a different topic, selling a different program, whatever. And I also would get really in my head. I focused on all the things that I thought were wrong with me and tried fixing those things one by one instead of continuing to just take imperfect action and build more confidence along the way. Now, obviously, because of what I do, I believe that mindset work is necessary and that your fears and limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging patterns can keep you from the success you desire. But it's important to detach your sense of self-worth from your business and stop digging constantly for things to fix. I'm going to repeat that because it's really important. Detach your sense of self-worth from your business and stop constantly digging for things to fix about yourself. Because the more you dig, the more you're going to find. And the more you ask, why is this happening? The more answers your brain will come up with, and they won't all be true. Not to mention, you'll start to feel more and more disempowered and resentful. If you're making any of these mistakes, it may be time for you to take a pause and get right within yourself. And what I mean by get right is to get aligned with what it is you truly want, clear on how you want to run your business, and do the healing work to shift your identity. So that means what you say to yourself, what you think about yourself, and how you feel about yourself. Focusing on shifting my identity was the most impactful thing I did to get out of my rut and excited about coaching and tapping with you again. And I was trying to do this on my own for years. I went so deep into personal development work, but just kept spiraling in my head around the same things over and over. And that's because we all have blind spots and habitual ways of thinking that we can get stuck in. And it wasn't until I got outside support that I actually got out of my head, saw my blind spots, and truly started healing, and then began to make progress in my life and in my businesses. So this is why it's so helpful if you've been doing this work on your own but not getting anywhere or not seeing any real change. It might be time to get support. And I'm excited to announce that I am now offering coaching and tapping sessions again, and would love to help you transform your identity and start thriving in your business and life. If you'd like to learn more about working with me one-on-one, I've dropped a link down in the description below this video for you to book a free discovery session where we can talk about where you're at, what's not working, and the transformation that you desire and how I can help you get there. Let me know in the comments if you can resonate with what I've been talking about, if you're going through any of this right now. And thanks for watching. Thank you for being here. If you'd like to see more content like this and more tapping videos, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.